Maybe it's just like opening and closing the dialog box or something.
There, now it's live. I literally copied it, and I actually showed the stream key first, and then I copied and I pasted it in there.
Right, and it's the same one, right?
The same key, and
Yeah.
here we are.
I have experienced this.
Super dumb. All right. Where was I? Ah, yes. Not there. What's new, man?
Not a lot. I'm happy that we're getting some warm weather now. I'm trying to.
It's cold as shit today. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's not. But it was still in the 50s.
Okay. It was cold. It was windy and rainy and stormy all day.
I know. I mean, I didn't go outside, but today is not, indicative of recent.
Hey, look! I hung up all my stuff on my walls.
Did you? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Look at that. You got Michael Jordan jersey on there. You got.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like.
Got StarCraft 2.
Oh, is that what that is? I thought that was a dude in a sun hat.
Wings of Liberty.
Yeah. All right.
I've got Superman here.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've got a Superman here.
Looks like MC Escher painting.
This one right here.
Yeah.
That's Superman. This is Final Fantasy from the Yukio guys at Comic-Con.
Oh,
the Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
It's Final Fantasy 6. I've got
That's
another
great.
one of those somewhere, a Ninja Turtles one, but I don't know what happened to it. You didn't do new releases, did you?
I did not.
Okay, I'm on it.
I wasn't sure if someone else did because those didn't seem familiar to me.
Looks like a Mega Man game. Oh, the Final Fantasy Pixel games. Dude, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection?
You don't like Mega Man Battle Network, do you?
No, not really. I tried them on DS.
I kind of feel like
Minecraft Legends came out today. There's actually a lot of stuff. What is this? Renfield Bring Your Own Blood.
I added that because it's like a Vampire Survivors type kind of game based on the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought so.
Minecraft Legend. I actually installed that and I watched a review for it too. It's like an RTS game, but more like a Pikmin game.
That's
than
fun.
An RTS. More like what was that game where you controlled all the little the little goblin-y dudes that ran around with you?
Overlord.
Yeah, like red ones and yellow ones and blue ones.
Yeah, Overlord. I really like that game.
Yeah, it's like Overlord's style of RTS. But you're still building stuff and then building units out of those buildings, but then they follow you around. You don't like select units into control groups and move them. Anyway, it looks kind of cool. So Final Fantasy Pixel remasters are on, I believe, the Switch and PlayStation. And Xbox? I think Xbox as well. Let's see. No. Switch and PlayStation. Mega Man Puzzle Quest 3. Is that that's already been out though, right?
Puzzle Quest 3 has been out, yes.
That's what I thought. I didn't think that was new. Mega Man. Did you ever play Mega Man Battle Network?
No, but what it sort of reminded me of is, you know how
they're kind of
kids
weird.
who were like born in the 90s, they sort of like stuff like Digimon and
were they kind of like that? Oh, they were kind of like that. The battle system was kind of neat.
I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, I didn't get very far into it. I just pirated the shit out of them and then played them on my DS. Like I never played them back in the day. I just tried them out because I'd never played them before. And there was a lot of running around and too much dialogue.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
All right.
Pets Hotel. Don't mind me.
All right. I think I too am ready.
Meat Grinder. Dude, that's a Destiny gun, bro.
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw is ready.
Yeah. There's
Oh, dude, there's so many
Record Store
Destiny
Day
guns today.
is coming up this weekend, and Macho Man Randy Savage has I can't remember the title of it, but he's got a record. I'm sure it's an old one, like it's some old song he did in the '80s, like the Super Bowl Shuffle.
I went to Gray Whale the other day.
Did you?
And they had the Mega Man 1 through 7, like the big fucking box, the $120 box set or whatever.
Yeah.
They had that there, and they had some other stuff I wasn't interested in. I was interested in the Mega. I actually almost pulled the trigger. It was like 100 and something. I didn't.
Was it original Mega Man? I guess it would have been if it was 1.
Yeah, it's the big box
like 1 to
set,
8.
the 1 through whatever. Yeah, the big box.
Because there's also a Mega Man X box.
Oh, they had Mega Man Legends there too.
Mega Man Legends is all right.
Yeah, I mean, I beat that game on the PS1 way back in the day.
But I'll be excited when they release the Misadventures of Tron Bonne.
I still have my copy of Mega Man Legends.
Do you? I played it, but I didn't really. I don't know. Kind of the same with like Battle Network. Like I know people like Mega Man Legends. I was like, yeah.
The problem with Mega Man Legends is it's not a problem. It's a game of its time, like most PlayStation 1 games.
Yeah.
It was cool back in the day because it was Mega Man and it was in 3D and it was an RPG and it was kind of neat and it felt cool because it was in 3D, right? But
yeah, it didn't have anything to do with Mega Man.
There is nothing. There's not very many PS1 games that are like full 3D games that actually hold up.
No,
PS2 games hold up. PS1 games, no.
There was a Blaster Master sequel on the PlayStation 1 called Blaster Master Blastin' Again. And it was kind of the same thing where it was like, blocky, and you kind of.
It's so stupid that they felt like they had. I mean, I get it. They felt like they had to like use 3D and everything. Right?
Honestly, even Sonic the Hedgehog when they came out with Sonic, what's the one that came out on the Dreamcast? I'm totally blanking on the name. It's not Sonic.
Blast. No.
Sonic DX. Sonic. Whatever it is.
I'm looking.
I'm gonna feel like an idiot.
Sonic Adventure.
Adventure. It's like okay, now Sonic is in a city now, and there's like people walking around, and there's some Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, but it's like, oh, this is what people really want. Doesn't have anything to do with anything.
It wasn't what they wanted. That new one, I played the demo of that. It was okay.
I have heard that Sonic Frontiers is real good, and we just did a feature on the music on the record set that came out.
Really?
And it's weird. It sounds like Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not bad. It's just not.
I can't remember. I played it on the Switch, and the Switch kind of sucks.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks. The Switch is kind of a bad console at this point. I mean,
yeah.
I did play. Well, we can talk about it on the show. Maybe a little bit because I know you've played. Dude, Ryan's pick from Tech Dash Gaming is freaking Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah, there's people you can tell that they're born in the 90s. Most of those people.
Final Fantasy VI. Good job, guy. Good job. Opera scene, man. Matt S. Rob decided some other stuff. Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Rob used to ask me to do that, and I was like, well, I'll do it every other week, and then he finally stopped asking me.
Why didn't you do it?
I don't know. I just didn't prioritize. When or why did I not?
What the hell microphone are you listening to me on? This is not even turned on.
It sounds fine.
What my light was flashing like it was off, but it was actually on.
Thump it or snap next to it.
I mean,
yeah, that's it.
Weird.
Nope.
Wow, that's weird. That was a weird glitch then. Okay, well, we're fine. Right. I'm going to stop recording and restart again.
I'm going to stop recording and start recording also.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Stop. Record. Okay. Let's clap and do this damn thing.
All right.
1, 2, 3. I did not look at any of the news, just so you know.
Well, we'll
it's all speed run.
Well, what I've started doing, because I don't know like what people think is interesting, is I just put it all down there. Let me see if I can find something that's worth.
That's fine. Like we can just go through these and just briefly talk on them. It's just us.
Yeah. No, I didn't look. Let me look at one more website real quick.
I was closest
Dead
to
Island 2, is that on your list?
I don't think it's out till end of I guess it's out end of this week, but it bridges that tech game.
I just see a lot of reviews.
I skimmed the video review by IGN on that one. I actually really liked the first Dead Island quite a bit.
I think a lot of
I
people
liked the vibe. I liked the slow pace. I liked the high stakes it seemed like it had, you know?
Yeah. I think it's not holding up to the original.
That sucks.
Yeah. Horizon, did you get the Horizon?
It's not on the damn list. Like I said, I think it straddles that, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's just another thing that
we'll get it next week. Unless you want to mention it this week, I don't care.
No, I don't. I haven't even downloaded that game yet.
I want to play it. I actually fired up Red Dead Redemption 2 again today and played a mission.
Oh, that's fun.
I was like, I need to get back in and finish this game, so I really want to finish it. I'm halfway there, according to the in-game percentage rater. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, let's
go. Okay. Oh, I got a burp. Okay, good. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Game Bytes Show podcast, where it's April the 18th, 2023. It is my brother's birthday.
Hey, happy tax day, brother.
Yeah, and it's tax day. I thought tax day was like the 15th.
I thought it used to be too. Like, I thought that was one of the federal.
Everyone
days.
knew it was the 15th.
It did not move with the the patterns of the moon or anything like that. It was like the 15th. But you're right. Like in the last couple of years, I feel like it's like drifted a little bit, and I'm not sure why.
It's the billionaires. They're doing it.
Yeah.
My taxes were done in February. Whatever.
Yeah, mine too. I paid the tax man again this year. I hate it.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I made out like a bandit.
Really?
Like a bandit.
I mean, I guess it's just
that's a bad
it's theoretically, thing, it's theoretically your own money anyway. But I'd rather not have to like write a check. Actually, they'll let you do it digitally now, so they'll take it right out of your bank account.
Oh well, thank goodness.
I know.
I think we wrote a check last time. We owed like $5 to the state. Like, here you go,
yeah,
nerds.
This year the state bailed me out because I owed a bunch to the feds, and then I got a refund back from the state, and it kind of evened out. So,
oh well, that's
I guess
good.
that's all right. And I just waited for the state to refund me, and then I just paid from that. So, but it's just not the same. It's just not what I want.
No, nobody wants it.
No.
Well, happy tax day, happy birthday to my brother.
Yeah,
Rex.
by this time, if you're listening to it, it's too late. Rex, by the time you hear this, you're already old.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think he's 39. 39.
Oh, wow. A young guy.
He's 39.
Oof. All right.
Shit, is he 39?
Isn't that weird? It's weirder when your family turns the ages that you have been. You're like,
yeah,
oh.
Like all of my younger siblings are passing, getting closer to. Anyway, I'm the oldest, so anyway.
Well,
I think he's definitely 39. 84 is when he was
to your entire geriatric clan.
Yeah, my other brother is 8 years younger than me, so he's only 35 this year.
Oh, in the blossom of his youth.
Yes, he's like, wow, what am I going to do with my life? I have so much time left.
Joint pain, like I'm starting to get, it's like some weird, I don't know, endocrine system issues going on. Like, how does this all fit together? Like, I got to be aware of where the ankle bone connects to the bone and all that.
When you're young, and you always hear these stories about old people having to get up in the middle of the night and pee. And at some point, you cross that threshold, and you don't necessarily know when that switch flips.
Yes, exactly.
You don't know when the switch flips, but suddenly, at some point, all of a sudden, you realize it dawns on you one day. You're like, "Wow, I have to pee every night."
Yeah. So for me, like right now, I think I'm just crossing the threshold because, like I said, like the stomach thing, like
okay, gotcha.
Like I am the cautionary tale. Like I'm not the guy who's been peeing, all night for 20 years now. This is new for me. So one day you'll be here, as puzzled as I am. As puzzled as I am.
When did that happen? When did that happen?
That's it. That's the stage I'm at right now.
Man.
But retro games to me are still like NES and stuff like that. So I think I'm still the right age. I mean, if you're born, later than me, you're too young. If you're born older than me, before me, you're too old. I think right about. I mean, then you're within a couple of years, maybe. I think we're right.
We are the same age. I think we're 42.
I'm 42. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. You're just a few months. You're a different year, so you're 81, right?
I'm 80, end of 80.
Oh no, I'm 80. Okay, all right. Well, then we got it right. In all of human history, if you're too far beyond 1980, too young, too far before 1980, too old, this is it. And that's what this podcast is about. That's the energy that we want to bring.
Yeah, we're bringing that slow
you're
old man
you're
energy.
Oh, no cancer yet, just a little bit of weird gas.
Yeah, a little bit of weird gas. The thing is, I don't have to pee every night. It's only when I actually accidentally wake up.
We should learn to use it. So I actually have done that. I've like drank a big glass of water before bed so that I like have to get up instead of staying.
It's probably better for you. Maybe it's because you were dehydrated as a kid and you're like, wow, I never have to get up in the middle of the night because you never drank enough water. That's the problem. When you get old, you're like, man, I feel like shit today. Maybe I should drink some more water. And then you end up having to pee.
And it kind of works. Yeah.
It works. You feel better, but you have to pee at night. It's kind of the trade-off. Listen, kids are dumb. We all know this. We all were there. Kids are idiots. And you get older and you realize that. And you have different problems.
I love this content. We should change the format of the show and be this all the time.
Angry, ranty dad. Old, like middle-aged dad.
Like struggling with our mortality.
Yeah,
the slow decay of our bodies.
One day. And we will all rest and it will be great.
In the meantime, we do just like frivolous video game stuff and collect things and hang them on our walls and accumulate piles of meaningless goods.
Watching the Last of Us series, and you see them like go to these old houses and you're like, there's all this weird random stuff in there. Like one day, like this is all gonna be gone, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just reality. Like this is all going to be gone, and some dude is gonna uncover this place and find
baloney. He's gonna be like, "There's no bandages here. There's no alcohol,
no medicine,
to make bandages." Yeah, exactly.
All there is these stupid StarCraft posters.
Poster. I love this too because this is the same topic. This is you watching The Last of Us and being like, "I got to clean up my head."
Yeah, and this PSP with a blown out battery. I can't even use it.
That's some like real environmental storytelling. Like your skeleton is going to be sitting in a chair next to a PSP with a swollen battery, and it'll be like, "Oh, this is so poignant."
Like, wow, what is this? This must be something that they worshipped.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah. That is it. I watch those zombie shows where they're always just like, foraging for stuff in every place that they can find, and just realize that one day somebody's going to be foraging in here and they're going to find jack shit. Like they're gonna find toothpaste. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
This will be one of those drawers that they go and open and there's nothing. In Naughty Dog, you played The Last of Us and you're like, there's nothing in any of these drawers.
No drawers. There's not even like a junk drawer. There's like, it's like not even like breadcrumbs in the corners.
What are all these USB cables in here?
Well, these DVI to VGA conversion cables that they still got hanging around up here.
My box of techno junk is going to be someone's just amazing frustration.
I think we should compare junk cable junk drawer. I got a crate up here in this closet up here.
I love that.
It's full of dumb
stuff. That
stuff.
is going to be the title of this episode is Let's Compare Junk.
Let's compare junk. Listen, man. I got a
show me yours and I'll show you mine.
I've got broken headsets up there. I've got like PlayStation 4 headsets that don't have receivers anymore. I've got
coils of coaxial cable.
Yeah, and RCA cables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like Xbox 360 battery little things that go on the back of the controller, right? I got some of those. Dumb stuff in here. And someone's going to discover this during the apocalypse. And you're like, wow, what is this box full of?
Someone's going to find my Star Wars micro machines and be like, this is amazing.
I'm like, wow, this is great. How did they make these? Such precision.
Yeah. Such precision. It truly was a golden age.
Wow. How did they do this? Must have been aliens.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Listen, man, video games. I played on the Nintendo Switch, and I played the Game Boy stuff on the Nintendo Switch. Just a little bit, briefly. I played, and I'm just gonna mention this briefly. I was talking some mad shit on Game Boy. I think when you talked about it, I'm like, Game Boy games suck. Like they all suck. And the reality is they kind of do a little bit. But I played. I was playing Metroid 2. Yeah. And I pulled up one of those game maps of Metroid 2 on the Game Boy on my monitor here. and I was playing through it. I'm like, wow, like this is actually not too bad if you actually know where you're going, right? It's actually kind of not a terrible game. Anyway, I've been dabbling in the Game Boy. So I haven't been checking that out. So I just want to mention that I beat Metroid Samus Returns last year on the 3DS, and now I'm playing Metroid 2 legit. And
Nice.
I think I might wander my way through that game. I think I've killed maybe 6 or 7 of those little Metroid nerds. So
yeah, it's not long. You can get through it pretty quickly.
I'm sure I could probably burn through it, especially with a guide or a map that's just showing me where to go next, right?
Yeah.
Which is how I kind of want to play that game. But outside of that, I've been playing Overwatch 2 a lot. I'm over a quarter of the way through the battle pass.
Wow.
Yeah, that game is the one thing I really like about Overwatch 2. I'm just going to mention this briefly is that well, first of all, the new character kind of sucks, Life Weaver. I think I mentioned that last week, right?
We did, yeah.
But the way that their battle pass works is that every level is like the set amount of XP. So it's never like in a lot of battle passes, it like increases the further you get along, that it requires more to get to the next level and more to get to the next level. And by the time you get to the end of the battle pass, it's taking forever to get a level. Not an Overwatch, man. Everything is 10,000 XP all the way to the end. And so if you get on every day and play for legit 20 minutes and get your daily challenges done, chances are you'll finish the battle pass in plenty of time. So it's actually been having a good time playing Overwatch with some friends. So that game continues to be amazing. Had some amazing rounds earlier today. Had probably one of the most intense rounds of Overwatch I've had in my life today.
Really?
Wow. I had triple the amount of damage as a tank that I usually have. And I had the same amount of mitigation, which never happens, as Sigma. And we had battles that lasted.
Tank, yeah.
We had battles that lasted for 5 minutes, and it was just back and forth, and nobody could kill each other. Our healers were just incredibly good, and us as tanks were doing really well, and it was just a fantastic. I ended up losing, but it was one of those games where you're not mad because like we won a battle with 30 seconds left on the timer, and it gave them enough time to get back to contest the point to win. And if we would have held out and won that battle 15 seconds later, we would have won the round. But we killed them a little too early. And then they came back, and then they beat us off the point. Everyone used their ultimate abilities. I also checked out Everspace 2. This was brought up a few weeks ago. I think it just came out of early access. It is on Xbox Game Pass. This is the space. I've been hearing people call it Space Diablo, where it's basically a looter RPG game, except for you're flying a spaceship. And so you kit out your spaceship with different weapons and different abilities and different armor pieces and stuff like that. There's like RPG skill trees and things like that you can enhance and grow. And you're basically just kind of dumped into a world. You're a clone, and you're flying the spaceship around, just trying to get by and doing stuff. And I haven't really played a whole ton of it, but I kind of like the vibe of it. It actually looks really good. I've been playing it with a mouse and keyboard on the PC. I couldn't find it on Game Pass on the Xbox, so I think it is only a PC game, Everspace 2. So I've been playing it with mouse and keyboard. But yeah, you're playing a spaceship. It's in a full 3D environment. It would probably be really cool in like VR. And then you dogfight spaceships.
Okay. So I was gonna ask if it's like Diablo in space. Like you're on your foot.
It's not like Rogue Galaxy. In that Rogue Galaxy, you're kind of on a 2D plane, and people come in from the side, and you never really go up and down, and do loops, and you're always on a plane, right? And this is like full 3D, like that Star Wars game that came out,
Free Space, or
exactly.
something like that.
Yeah. So you're flying around, and so you can rotate, and you can pitch and yaw, and
so
whatever.
It's first person then?
No, you're playing on a third person view of your ship.
Okay,
so you're
third person and
right behind 3D. Your ship. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
First person and no, not first person. You're in third person, but you're
third person and 3D. So, but there's depth. There's like up and down and in. And
yeah. So you're flying, you're dog fighting basically.
Yeah.
And it's and the reason why I call it Diablo is because there's loot, and there's quality of loot, and there's
how do you manage all of those planes? Because I know like Homeworld, right? You've played Homeworld, and there's always kind of like that weirdness when you have depth and then try and.
Well, because you are that guy, though. It's because you're flying. You are controlling one spaceship.
Yeah, maybe it's not as hard as
it's like a kart racer. It's like a Mario Kart, right? You're driving behind the thing. It's not that difficult,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Or like Descent. Like Descent is,
For some reason, I guess I've been thinking like if you fly towards yourself. Anyway, I probably
No, it
just
is
to
not
see
like
it would
Homeworld. It's
probably
not like an RTS like
yeah,
Homeworld where you can't see
right.
or you can't click in a 3D space with your mouse cursor because there's
Right.
something weird about that. No, you're flying,
That's
you're
yeah,
controlling a third person ship and
yeah.
you have
So it's
guns, you have a targeting reticle in front of you like
Star
a
Wars Rogue
shooter.
Squadron or something
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that, where
exactly.
you
Exactly.
okay,
Yep,
all right.
exactly that. And then the looter side, and that's the Diablo tie-in, is that you get weapons that drop, loot. You find loot crates. You do quests. And I haven't really gotten to the point where I'm kind of just playing through the story, and I'm not very far into it. I'm maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours into it, but you're kind of just accepting quests and flying around to different like dilapidated space stations and meeting with people. And there's lots of characters and lots of dialogue and a story that's going on. And you're like a mercenary, so you're like this trained soldier or whatever, but something happened and now you're away from the military, and so there's this whole like space political
Stuff.
story, whatever that's going on.
Space stuff.
Yeah, but the combat's really cool. You're flying around in the spaceship, and you have lots of cool weapons, you have abilities, and you kind of I'm just kind of playing through that. So it's that's basically all I have to really say about that so far. But it seems pretty good. It looks really cool. The customization is fun.
Does it feel different than play? I mean, I know you're kind of comparing it to Diablo, but it's not really much like Diablo.
I'm comparing it to Diablo in that from the loot side, like
right.
You're getting loot and different qualities of loot, right? Of the same item, effectively.
The reason I ask is that when I play, third-person isometric character action looter type games, I kind of find that I have kind of less patience with them. Like I mentioned when we talked about Diablo 4,
it is nothing like it's not an action RPG. It's not an isometric.
So it doesn't have that feel. Like you don't feel like that.
No, the Diablo comes from
the way that you interact with items. Yeah,
the way that you interact with items, that you're getting new things, you're applying them to your ship, you're upgrading your gear, your whatever, like that whole RPG.
Do you build onto the ship cosmetically? Like, do you get to get?
I haven't gotten that far yet. I haven't gotten that far, but I have.
That would be cool. Like if you
I've got
like
several different kinds of weapons though, and I've applied weapons, and they have like skill trees and things like that. So
that could be cool.
And so so you'll kill like some ships, and then you'll go and loot, or you'll find like a crate, and you'll find like a shipwreck, and you'll go and you'll loot, and so you never actually get out of your ship. You're always in your ship, and so you drive over to this broken down spaceship that you just blew up or whatever, and then you loot,
scan it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You pull in the loot, and then you get items. There's crafting, so you can craft new whatever, and it's an RPG. I don't know. I've never.
But you're a spaceship.
But you're a spaceship. Yeah, and it's a third person. Picture a third person shooter, but you're a spaceship, so you're flying around in a 3D space. Like it's.
Listen, is the y-axis inverted, or is it properly pull back on the stick to go up?
I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, and I think it probably sucks. Yeah. It's not the ideal way to play it. A HOTAS, a full setup would be cool.
But I think you said only on PC. So could you hook up a controller to it and play it that way?
Yes, and I hear that it's kind of weird because there's a lot of buttons.
Yeah, it's like playing like when Dale starts talking about like what's it called, the fly game that he likes,
Elite Dangerous.
Like you can play that with a controller, but
and I was thinking
it doesn't fit well in either.
Yeah, I was thinking it would probably be easier to fly around, but there's so many different buttons and abilities and things like that. It's like, like I was reading up about it. Like, can you use a controller in this game? I just Google searched it, and somebody's like, you can, but you're going to want to remap everything, and it's probably going to suck. And
there is an interesting class of games like that where it's like it's not really ideal for a mouse and keyboard, but it's not really ideal for a controller, and there's not really something that does just what you want for those games. And I guess this probably fits into that
it's the kind where you're like. So your reticle is in the middle, and as you move your mouse to the side, it doesn't snap back. It kind of gives you that like you're a little bit of play. It's almost like that you're moving your joystick to the side, and so that's kind of the way that it controls. It's not like it doesn't control like a shooter. It controls like you get a little bit of momentum when you. Yeah,
I mean that's how Rogue Leader and Rogue Squadron were too. I mean, the same kind of idea. Yeah.
So it's not like you aim and then you're going like if I move my mouse to the right and then just let go of my mouse, my ship would continue to turn, right?
Right.
Because it's not centered, in the middle. Right. Which means it would be really shitty to play this game on a Switch. You know what I'm saying? With the drifty Joy-Con. because it already drifts, just by itself.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Everspace 2, it's pretty cool. I'd recommend checking it out if you're into those kind of spacey games or into weird RPGs in space
In
with
space.
spaceships and missiles and guns and stuff and different loot that drops that makes your ship cooler and you level it up in an interesting-ish story, I guess. Like, I think it's worth checking out. It's also on Game Pass, so if you have that, might as well go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure
I actually do have.
I'm sure that homeboy Jared's probably already looked at it.
Yeah, maybe he has. I do have. I actually, in fact, Jared mentioned that one of the YouTube Premium perks that they're doing right now is Game Pass, but it's the PC only Game Pass, and so I can't stream anything like I'm used to with Game Pass Ultimate, but I also can't upgrade it for less. Like I have to pay the full thing to.
Oh, your Game Pass is expired?
I let my Game Pass run out, and then I was like, oh well, let me do this Game Pass PC, and it's kind of useless mostly to me, and
because you like to stream.
Yeah, I do. I like to stream a lot.
You have an Xbox, right? The new Xbox?
No, I've only got the old one because I haven't had to because I stream everything. The only things I want to play are on Game Pass, and I stream them all. But I've got to find out a way to convert my stupid Game Pass PC to.
You should buy like a used Xbox Series S. That'd probably
I could, but yeah, maybe.
You probably get one for like $200 or something.
I kind of don't need one though. Is the thing. I mean, streaming is
That's
like
true.
really good for
if
me.
You like streaming, if you're okay with that. We've had this argument before.
If you're into that, yeah. Well, the game I played this week is not too different from what you described. If you like to upgrade stuff and have kind of a story that's kind of almost interesting and vaguely RPGs. So this was something that came out on the Epic Games Store free game like last week or the week before, and it's called Game Deck. That's GAMEDEC, all one word. And
I think it's Game December. It's just short.
Yeah, I know that. So the funny thing is, it actually apparently stands for Game Detective, but I think somebody forgot that it was Game Detective and it's not Game Detective. So it's Game Detective.
Oh yeah, it says in the description on Steam, you are a game detective, not detective.
Does it? Yeah, does it say that? It should say that. But
detective.
I wish that it was Game Detective. But I think the reason for that is that it's actually Polish. So it is a third person kind of isometric RPG adventure game with dialogue and stuff. It kind of reminds me of was it you that was playing Outer Worlds at one point, like the kind of story based
Outer Worlds?
Yeah, wasn't it Outer Worlds that was like not a lot of fighting, but there was kind of some dialogue and stuff like that. Anyway,
No.
That's kind of this. And it's based on
Outer Worlds. Was that the Fallout game? Like it was kind of like Fallout.
Kind of like Fallout. Yeah, like old Fallout. Yeah.
Oh no. That's not Outer Worlds. That's what is that game called? It's not called Outer Worlds.
Not Outer Worlds. That Outer World. I don't remember what it
Outer
was.
Worlds is the game that looks like a Fallout game, like Fallout 3D Fallout. There's Outer Worlds, there's Outer Wilds, and then there's this other. I know what game you're talking about. It was Jared's like game of the year that year.
Yeah,
right?
Jared really liked it. I can't remember what it was.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, I gotta find it.
This is like that.
That's what it kind of looked like to me when you show it. What is this? Yes. What's that game called?
I can't think of it.
I'm gonna search. I know there's a definitive edition, so let's see if I can search for that in my Steam library.
So this game is mostly dialogue based, and it kind of reminds me of something like The Longest Journey or something like that, where it's an adventure game, but there are also it's just very heavy on dialogue, very heavy on story, and it's kind of based on something like
Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. So it's based on this sort of future in Poland. So it actually takes place in Poland because some dude reckons that there's going to be giant technology cities in Warsaw someday. But
Probably.
you play as a sort of the Matrix style, inside real life, but also going into the game. So it's also like Ready Player One, I suppose, kind of, except you're also a gumshoe. And you can choose at the beginning from a number of pre-made characters, or you can kind of build your own out of some different portraits or whatever. I chose, and none of them were really appealing either. Like, that was the thing. Like, they were all like weird kind of looking people, and I didn't really identify with any of them. But there was one guy who was dressed like Popeye the Sailor. Like, he's got like a full-on like captain hat, and he's got like one ripped sleeve where he's got a sailor tattoo on there. And I'm like, you know what? This is the future in Warsaw, Poland. I'm going to go into the Matrix and solve crimes. I'm absolutely going to be the captain of a tugboat. I've got like this whole backstory. So the way the game works is it's heavily dialogue based. In fact, everything is based on clicking on objects, and you can do actions to them. But the thing that this kind of reminds me of is when there are sort of narrative based tools and people will make really interesting and complicated stories with them because the game works on this whole idea of deductions, like things, dialogue choices that you make are permanent, so you can't just go through the whole tree. If you decide that you're going to do something, it might queue up as a like, oh, almost like in Telltale games where like someone will remember that, but then it adds it to your available dialogue tree options. And so you sort of get locked in. Like they're really interested in having your investigation, the actions that you take, actually have some flow to how the story plays out. You can fail things and continue, and it's just very 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 all that stuff that we always have talked about for years about oh, I want my dialogue choices to matter. Here they do, and it kind of feels bad because you choose something and you're like, well, I didn't want to do that. and suddenly, so far though, it's mostly worked out. Although I will say that sometimes it's kind of buggy. This is sort of an indie quality kind of game. All of the tools are there. It looks very pretty. The music is fine. The voice acting where it is, there's sort of like hero voice acting when like, oh, Mr. Game Deck, it's me, Boris, or whatever. And that's his little spoken dialogue for the whole interaction or whatever. When you start to investigate things, then those will also dictate actions that you can take as well. So it's not just your dialogue choices, but the way that you actually approach your cases also makes a difference. So for example, if you in dialogue, are given the name of a suspect or a description of the suspect, you can then use those, and they will allow you to then take different actions, kind of like you would in. I mean, I guess that in and of itself is not super novel or anything. But then also, I mentioned earlier, like RPG, there's an RPG element. So you will acquire skill points based on 4 different categories, and they can be social, action, deductive, and something else. Different points that will rack up, and then you can unlock different abilities to become a different kind of character. So aside from all of your looks and feels and your Popeye hats and your tattoo arms, you can also be all kinds of different neuromancer style kind of classes. You can be a like a cyber surgeon or something, and you can separate characters from their skins or whatever, their in-game personas. You can be a kind of a more deductive reasoner. You can be a hacker. You can and that'll unlock different abilities for you to not only pursue dialogue, but to pursue actual actions that you can fight characters that you wouldn't normally fight. You can lose people. You can actually have people join your little party and walk around with you, and then have other characters interact with them too. So it's a pretty fairly capable mesh of different dialogue skills.
This sounds just like Disco Elysium. Not
I,
gonna lie.
it may well be. This game came out, I think, in 2021. So I don't know. Yeah, originally September of 2021. So it's not too old, less than 2 years. But is probably. I mean, I would believe you that it's the same thing, and it's not very combat based. There are combat elements, but it's usually resolved by dialogue choice. It's those same kinds of things.
On Steam, the top similar item is Disco Elysium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is sort of like that. So, for somebody like Jared, who is into Disco Elysium, this might be something to pursue. It's not that expensive. It gets middling reviews. Again, there are kind of some. It's very ambitious as far as the dialogue and options and all those things. But it also sometimes it'll be like, actually, I didn't know that bit of information that this person was acting on just now, and so there are a few little issues with it. And actually, the developer has recently released a kind of new game plus or additional content for it as well. So there's a lot to do, and I get the feeling that you could probably, just like in Disco Elysium, replay the game in a lot of different ways. And because it's very particular about locking you into things, I bet you could have fairly different experiences as you go through and replay it. Again, the overall vibe is like a little bit too indie, like kind of low budge, but not terribly bad. And if you're into interactive
I
fiction,
think Disco Elysium felt that way too.
I suspect so. I think it's
But the
just
story was
they.
what and the character stuff and the dialogue and the
Yeah, and I remember
choices.
people like the humor and stuff like that, I guess, and Disco Elysium was pretty good too. This doesn't really have that humor element to it, and, but it does for people who are into, like, those choose your own adventure or interactive dialogue-based, adventure games. This really hits that, and it's pretty capable as far as that goes. So,
Huh.
again, I played it on, for free as it was given out on the, Epic Game Store a couple
I
weeks
also
ago,
have it
but
on Game
yeah.
Epic, whatever.
And not bad. And part of the reason I'm playing it this week is that video game music on vinyl, the soundtrack to this, which so far has not been notable to me, but this weekend is Record Store Day, and so this is one of the 2 video game vinyl scores that's coming out this coming weekend.
What
Game
is
Deck,
the
and the
other
other
one?
one, is Wingspan, which is a game based on
Oh,
a
okay.
board game. So it's based on some sort of bird watching board game, and they made a digital version of that. So the soundtrack for that, and I'll see if I can snag both of those, because I do also collect board game soundtracks on vinyl, and so Wingspan will sort of bridge that video game
Hmm.
board game collection for me. So yeah,
Well, maybe I will go to Record Store Day at Gray. Where are you
yeah,
going?
it's
You going
hard.
to Graywell? You going to Graywell?
I don't know. I don't know if
What
I'm going
else
to
is
show up to
there?
any
Where else is
place.
there?
Around here, I think there are a couple, but not any that I've
So you're just
really
gonna do it
been
online
to.
then.
Yeah, usually I'll just find it online. And a lot of times those places will prioritize in-person sales, and then if there's stuff left, you can order it, but usually for the stuff I'm looking for, not many people are, so I usually get what I'm after.
Hmm.
So anyhow, that's Game Deck.
Alrighty, thanks,
Game
Game
Deck
Detective.
Detective.
I've got some new releases here, courtesy of tech-gaming.com. First up on the list, Renfield, Bring Your Own Blood. This is there's a new Nicolas Cage movie coming out called Renfield, where he's Dracula, basically.
Yeah.
And this is a Vampire Survivors like movie tie-in. It's $5. Minecraft Legends is out on Game Pass today. Actually, I have it installed. I haven't tried it out yet.
I'm trying to decide if I'm interested. There was what was the other Minecraft? Minecraft Dungeons. Yeah, and I played that. And it was
that game
okay.
was boring.
It was. I mean, it reminded me of Diablo. So
it was just slow and boring.
yeah.
Not
So
like
I
that
don't
one.
know how this is materially different, but
well, it plays more like an RTS, a console RTS.
oh yeah, that's right. We were
A little
talking
bit
about
different. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters have been out on PC for a while. They're now coming to Switch and the PlayStation. So this is Final Fantasy 1 through 6.
Decent.
And I think it's like $80 for all of them. So, I mean, Final Fantasy nerds pay that, I guess.
Yeah, I think I've played my old Final Fantasies mostly.
Yeah, I own Final Fantasy 6 in about 18 locations. So I think I need to buy it again probably. So I'll probably do that.
Yep.
Mega Man Battle Network collections. There's like a legacy collection for Mega Man Battle Network. These are the DS games. I think it was only on DS, right? There's 3 or 4 of them.
There might have been something on console.
They got to the point where they were like releasing like 2 versions like Pokemon whenever they came out. There was like Omega White and Super Red or whatever, you know. Like,
I did not feel like this was a good. I don't know. There are people out there who I know love Mega Man Battle Network, but for me, it's like I have zero interest.
yeah, they're okay.
I don't regret it.
Outside of that, we got some new Destiny guns that are coming out. Meat Grinder. This is a shotgun, double-barreled shotgun.
Absolutely.
The Meat Grinder. We also have Beyond the Long Night. That's coming out. New gun.
That's
I don't
probably
know
an
what that is.
assault rifle. It's been a while since we've seen an assault rifle.
Yeah, Cannon Dancer. Coming
Is
out.
it probably a grenade launcher?
And finally, is it wrong to repay the debt in a dungeon? New Destiny gun coming out. I think it's a sword.
It's probably a sword.
Yeah. Also, there's Game Pass stuff coming and going this month in Game Pass. This is the rest of April. We have Coffee Talk Episode 2, whatever that is, Medieval Dynasty, which has already been out. It's just now coming to Game Pass. Homestead Arcana, which I don't know what that is. Cassette Beasts, which is also a Destiny gun. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Special Battle Edition. Whatever, it's a fighting game.
It's a fighting game, yeah.
And finally, the one that I'm actually interested in, The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which I believe they showed at E3.
I feel
Maybe
like
it was
that
at the
could be a Destiny gun
Keeleys.
too, with a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good, so I'd recommend watching the trailer. It's got some dark, like it's like post World War I vibes with like eldritch horror stuff going on. Anyway,
that's kind of cool.
Looks kind of cool. Also, Game Pass games leaving at the end of the month. Bug Snacks, sorry. Get your Bug Snacks on.
Can't sing the song anymore.
That's right. Destroy All Humans, Tetris Effect Connected, and Unsold. I would recommend people check out Tetris Effect if you have not before it goes
That's
away.
a great version of Tetris.
It is. It is a good one. You can play through it all in a few hours and play at least see all the levels and all the.
And they released those update levels for the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the little themed like 1989, 1988,
nice.
1989 levels. Yeah,
that might be fun to see. So that's what's coming there. And outside of that, I don't think I have anything else really.
Just kind of it. Well, we got some news, a little bit of news. There's like a lot of little news, so there's not a lot that's like, you know, really blowing up the internet or anything. But it is kind of sending shockwaves through the video game world that Sega has made a current cutting edge, really important acquisition for a really big amount of money. Sega is acquiring Rovio, which is the makers of Angry Birds, for 706 million euros, because now is the time. Angry Birds more relevant than ever at this time.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I can't wait for the
what else has Rovio
film.
done? Angry Birds on its own is not worth that much,
there's,
is it?
There's the piggies, whatever the evil piggies were thing. You build stuff.
This is a dumb website. Games. All right, Rovio Games. I'm gonna read them down here.
Okay.
Angry Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Angry Birds Journey. Mm-hmm. Angry Birds 2. Mm-hmm. Angry Birds Dream Blast, Angry Birds Friends, Angry Birds Reloaded, Angry Birds Pop, Angry Birds Match, Darkfire Heroes. That sounds like one of those build your little crew and have them auto fight.
You know, I want to say that I feel like that was one that they made and then closed because it wasn't Angry Birds, and it seems like Rovio closed something recently.
Well, it's still. Oh, this is like. This is a game like Clash Royale. That's what this game is. Outside of that, let's see. Oh, dang it.
What about Bad Piggies? Bad Piggies is not even in the list.
I haven't gotten there yet, man. I'm working on it.
Really? Is it that long? Oh.
Darkfire Heroes, Small Town Murders. This is a puzzly. It looks like a narrative-based puzzly game. Sugar Blast. I wonder what that is. It's a candy. It's a match 3.
Not like Candy Crush.
It's a match 3. That's it. That's all it's on here. What did you say it was called?
Bad Piggies. It's like it's made no it's based on the pigs that are the ones that the birds are so angry about.
Maybe Rovio didn't make that. Oh, they did. Developer Rovio Entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know. So
it's
maybe
it's not on their website.
The list is long, so maybe Sega did make a good purchase decision here.
Well, I mean, how relevant are Angry Birds still?
Listen, just wait until they make the smash new feature film based on the Angry Birds. No, I'm just kidding. They already have one, but I tell you what, if you make that joke on the internet, everybody flies in to correct you that there's already an Angry Birds movie.
Subsidiaries Ruby Games. What is Ruby Games?
I don't think we're going to find anything that's going to like blow us away. I think it's just this is one of those situations where, you know, this is a company that real gamers have kind of decided is no longer relevant, and Sega sees an opportunity.
Ruby Games made Hunter Assassin 2, Wordus, which is like Wordle. It's called Wordus, and Football Life. Good job, guys. Here's Bad Piggies. Angry Birds Star Wars. They did the Crudes game.
Well, there was also Angry Birds Go. They had a kart.
Angry Birds Go, yeah, kart racer. Angry Birds Epic, Stella, Angry Birds Transformers, Angry Birds Pop, Nibbler's Love Rock, starring Shakira.
Wow. Well,
cool,
anyhow, so that's what that's the biggest new acquisition. The antitrust lawsuits shortly to be filed to prevent this between Sonic the Hedgehog and Red the Bird from Angry Birds.
These guys have been around for a long time making games prior to Angry Birds. They did a game for the Nokia in 2010. Nokia N97.
I believe I want to say Rovio is from Finland, I think. So I think they're one of those studios.
Weird, man. Weird.
Anyway, that's the best I could find as far as like big, rumbling news for this week. But Legrand, that is not all we've got, because we still have a whole load of stuff on the new speed run. Start that music.
There's a lot on the speed run.
There is a lot on the speed run. My method, just for those who ask, is that now I just load everything into the speed run, and if anybody feels strongly, then we elevate that up to have more discussion.
I didn't read through any of these.
That's all right. Well, I made them nice and concise.
Super Mario Brothers movie is now the highest grossing video game movie ever. They've made over $700 million internationally. If they make $1 billion, I think they'll make $1 billion. Probably will, right?
I wonder. So everybody keeps talking about it as the biggest video game grossing movie, but I wonder where it is on the. Is it even in the top 10 yet? As far as probably not yet. If it's only 700 million
Animated movie, I think, believe it's the top, right?
of all.
Or getting there, or top
I mean,
top,
that, see,
top
that's what I
opening
wonder.
weekend, I believe.
At some yes, that sounds
Mario
familiar.
Bros.
And their second week, it's still up above 90 million in the U.S. So people like it. People like.
Have you seen it yet? Oh, you
movies.
saw it. You did go see it.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's no good.
Anyway, I don't have any information there.
That's all right. Anyway, it's making a lot of money.
Yep.
Guys, the Playdate, that is the crank-based handheld that I believe I predicted would be awesome, is currently selling double its original expectations, and people are loving their crank-based gameplay.
I still want one of these. The games are way too expensive, though.
Yeah. So the specific number, 53,000 units, has been sold, and they only expected to sell half of that.
Yeah, they opened like a storefront now where you can actually buy games now, and the game prices are like. Is there a
crank mechanic on all of them? I mean, are they really? Somebody needs to do like a.
I mean, you don't have to use the crank. I mean, there's also buttons on the thing. There's 2 buttons and a D-pad, right?
But then you might as well. I don't know. It's like then you need the crank. I mean, it's one of those things that's kind of.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing with the Playdate.
I know.
What do they call it?
Why is it called the Playdate? Like, that's a weird name for a crank-based handheld too.
What would you call it? Danky Crank?
I don't know. That's exactly right. The Danky Crank.
Games. Right. Catalog. Core Fault by
Hey, by the way,
$6 for this Playdate game.
Here's the thing. Last year in 2022, now I'm exempt from this year, but in 2022, I predicted that the crank-based handheld would tank. I thought it would be the Tanky Crank.
The Tanky Crank? Cranky Tank?
That's Tanky Crank.
$200 for one of these damn things.
It's
I want one, but I don't know if I want $200 worth of one.
Apparently 53,000 people are willing to pay $200 for a crank-based game.
Good for them.
Yep.
Marvel Move is an upcoming running app that gives you encouragement from superheroes.
I have to say they showed a trailer for this today, and it's like a lot of people like running, and it's like, Iron Man is telling you can do it. Just run another half mile. And I thought for like a split second, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Cause they have, I saw a voice actor who was going to play Cyclops and stuff like that. And I guess it's going to be like storytelling and like, oh no, the Sentinels are going to get you or whatever. And I thought for like a split second, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea. But then I was like, you know what? I can listen to any podcast I want, and I probably do just as well, but
They had something like this that was like zombie themed, where zombies were chasing you and you had to run from them. I think they had something like that.
I can appreciate it. I don't know that it's like a great idea, but I like in sort of the same sense that Pokemon Go and whatever, they get people outside. I approve of the general idea, but I don't know.
Kind of dumb.
Yeah. Hey, MapleStory developer Nexon, which actually I just loaded up MapleStory for the first time this past week.
The game's like 50 years old.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, everybody talks about it kind of in the same way that people like Mega Man Battle Network. There is people of that age sort of like MapleStory. And I thought I would try it out because it was, for free. But anyway, Nexon, who is, most known, I think, for MapleStory, is suing a developer over a game called Dark and Darker, saying that its code and assets were stolen by this developer, Iron Mace. Iron Mace is, kind of fighting back a little bit, but they've also put the entire game available for free on a torrent. Just while this is going on, they're protesting by making their game available to everybody.
All right. Ubisoft Plus is now available on the Xbox consoles, and it costs $18 a month.
Not nice.
So it's the same price as whatever, but you only get Ubisoft games, which
it's more expensive than Game Pass, isn't it?
That's the thing. Is like Ubisoft games are historically, they drop in price like way quick, like bargains on Ubisoft games. Yeah. And so I don't know the value of Ubisoft Plus really, because I could probably for $18 a month, I could probably buy like 4 Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
Anyway, whatever. It's on Xbox now.
Well, here's one for the Legrand file. Another Trine game is on the way later this year, as Trine 5: A Clockwork Conspiracy gets a trailer. I also am a Trine fan, so I'm happy about this.
I didn't like the 3D one, but the last 2D one. Remember I talked about it on the show where it just kind of ended abruptly?
Yeah, like it just stopped. Like they stopped working on it.
I'm down for more Trine. I like those games a lot.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty good.
Michael Barclay, who was previously at Free Radical, is now a lead at Naughty Dog. And he says, I'm reading your headline here. I need to hang on. I'm going to click on this thing because I don't know about your headline writing.
Right.
Oh, their headline's just as bad. This is an article on PCGamer.com. I'm just going to read the headline. Lead designer at Naughty Dog says Star Wars Battlefront 3 was, quote, legit incredible. And LucasArts canceling it was, quote, an absolute crime against humanity. I added that part.
Yeah. I remember that, the stuff they showed with like Dark Obi-Wan and stuff like that. Do you remember that when they were showing stuff that was from production? And so apparently it was going to be really good. And this guy who now is a creative lead at Naughty Dog is in an interview. They asked him, well, what's the one that got away? And he said, that Battlefront 3, man, we should have got that. So,
yeah. Cool.
Well, there's more drama over in Bungie territory for Destiny, as Bungie has confirmed that it has irrefutable evidence of a popular streamer who has leaked confidential information several times. We are now regrettably announcing that our new DestinyGuns.com has been silenced. So, sorry, guys.
Well, I think it's worth. I think we're gonna risk it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, but that actually is
it's
true.
Worth
so. It. Apparently they have nailed this guy down, and he is protesting his innocence, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's the dumb part about NDAs. They're dumb. They're fine. The whole concept of everyone wanting to be super quiet about. Don't let people know that we're making.
Here's the thing:
Elder Scrolls game.
Never tell. This is a life tip here from Jeremy. Never tell anyone anything that you don't want everyone to know, because that's how it works.
I agree. I can agree with that. So there's lots of Bowsers in our lives. We have Doug Bowser.
Maybe your boss is a Bowser in your life.
We have Bowser, Jack Black Bowser. And we have who's this guy? Gary Bowser. This is the dude who was indicted and sent to prison, I guess, federal prison, because of the hacking or the
ROMs he was putting.
The ROM hack stuff he was doing for Nintendo game, and Nintendo basically prosecuted him and put him in jail for it. Apparently he is being released from prison, but he still has to pay Nintendo like millions of dollars. $14.5 million is owed, which means so the agreement with this guy is that the maximum they can take is 25 to 30% of his gross monthly income, which basically means he's probably going to be paying Nintendo for the rest of his life.
That's you know what? That's almost the same as like a Switch Online subscription. You can just
but without the shitty Game Boy games.
Yeah. Well.
The 6 Game Boy games that are on there, it's pathetic, the Game Boy.
I know. Well, that's exactly the thing. I mean, it's like the same thing. So, whatever. Hey, a new multiplayer Quidditch game is coming from Portkey Studios, and there's an open sign up that you can get to play open beta this weekend. However, there is some controversy. Well, people said, I mean, you played Hogwarts Legacy. You would like to play Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy, right?
No, I wouldn't.
A lot of people would, but the controversy is that a lot of people said, well, it should have been included in Hogwarts Legacy. Now, the developers have got on record to say, it just wasn't going to happen. So I think. And that's probably true. Like I'm not a big believer that, game development studios are, necessarily overtly malicious in that way. But, this is a thing that is happening. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I signed up for it. I'll see if I get to play it, and maybe I'll talk about it next week.
Is Quidditch that exciting of a game? Is it?
Well, I mean, here's how I think about it. Because the other thing is MLB came out again this, the MLB 23. And I thought about like playing it because it's not that I like baseball, but I usually have fun playing sports games. So Quidditch is just like that. Like I could take MLB.
Yeah, but it's not really a game, is it? I don't know. I guess at Comic-Cons
is Rocket League a game?
People get dressed up and ride broomsticks around and throw balls at each other at Comic-Cons. So that happens.
Mean, you have described pretty close to just about every sport, really.
I guess you're right. Maybe I just don't know enough about Quidditch. It's just too
the
hard
only
to
one.
follow.
The only one that I played, because there was like a Quidditch World Cup game on like the PlayStation 1, I think.
Really?
And that, yeah. It all took place on one plane though, but it basically, had the rules of Quidditch.
They should make it play like that Super Giant game with the basketballs.
Super Giant game.
What was that game called? It was called. Oh my gosh!
Super Giant that did like Bastion and.
Yes, what's their game called? What is their game called?
Basketballs. Transistor, Pyre.
Pyre.
Oh, Pyre. Was it Pyre? That's the one I never played. I actually haven't played it, and
It's
I
a good
always
one.
look at it like I'm going to play. I remember you talked about it on the
It's
show.
really good.
Yeah.
The soundtrack's good. The story's good. The gameplay's good. It's a fun game. It's a fun game.
Nice.
My turn. 2,400 Steam accounts were restricted for marking a negative review as helpful. What is the story behind this? I didn't look at this.
Because in the review,
headlines.
so the review was negative because the game started to install a stay resident anti-cheat software, and so the review that was negative that said, "Hey, this is bad," also included the registry keys that you would delete in order to turn it off, which I guess violates Steam's terms of service. And so people who were thumbing that up were restricted for, I guess, for thinking that the review was helpful. Yeah, like it's weird.
It was helpful.
I know, but apparently those accounts got restricted for thinking so.
And why? What's the reasoning behind them getting restricted?
Because Valve, I don't know.
That's kind of funny.
Anyway, Cliff Blazinski has teased new information on Twitter about his defunct game Lawbreakers. He says that he got an interesting text from his lawyer about it. So this game that, by all accounts, was not bad, but just did not come at the right time or whatever and went away, apparently may be coming back at some point. We'll see.
Huh. Came out at a bad time, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And that doesn't mean that the time now is any better, but Cliff thinks he's got something. So
it is not, by the way.
We'll see what happens.
Former Halo creative director Joseph Staten has joined Netflix Games to produce a AAA multi-platform game on an original IP by Netflix Games. Get a wild.
It's going to be a dude in a forest with a grappling hook, and he's going to fight like, I don't know, aliens or something.
Yeah. Hey,
fine. Here's one for
this dude got paid a lot of money to go to Netflix, and he's going to make the most of it.
Good gig if you can get it. Hey, for the everybody but Jeremy file, Diablo 4 has gone gold.
Listen,
so it is drawing near.
Gone gold used to mean that they were pressing discs and pressing cartridges, and now what does gone gold mean?
Well, I think it still means the same thing, but fewer people care.
And they're still working on it. And you're telling me they're not doing anything to Diablo 4 between now and June 6th?
Well, the idea is that they have identified a release 1.0 version of the game that will
be patched like 8 times between now and release.
Right.
Anyway.
But it's a thing.
Gone gold doesn't mean anything anymore. Sorry.
Hey, a live-action Paramount Plus TV show starring Knuckles the Echidna will come out later this year. Spin-off from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie Part 2.
There better be a
cast
picture
has been announced, and there are some people in it. Technically, the people who they've announced for this are from things. I don't know who they are. So Idris Elba will be reprising his role as Knuckles the Echidna. Adam Pally and
was Knuckles in Sonic 2, the movie?
Yeah, there was like a big, huge part of it. Like,
I haven't seen it.
Jim Carrey was all like, "Oh, I'm good." Oh, really? You didn't see it? It's all right. It's not
I didn't see the first one either.
It's as good or better than the Super Mario movie, in my opinion.
Who is Ellie Taylor from Ted Lasso? Who's that? Ted Lasso is great, by the way. Ellie Taylor. I have no idea. Oh, I know who that is. Okay, cool. All right, whatever. That sounds good. Someone from Game of Thrones. Who's that? Rory McCann. Who's this guy? Oh, it's the freaking The Mountains brother, the Hound. Sander Clegane. Anyway, cool. Daedalic Entertainment will sell DLC for the Lord of the Rings Golem, so that you hear a lot more Sindarin Elvish from professionally trained Sindarin voice actors. I believe that was Flair from Jeremy. Yeah.
No, actually, Sindarin is the actual canonical language of the Wood Elves. Sindarin. So
when is this game out?
I don't know. Actually, this is still like, to me, I still think this is probably something that should have been canceled a couple of years ago. The Lord of the Rings Gollum, I don't know, but
it says they trained voice actors in that language.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe it's, some nerds out there are.
I thought this picture that I'm looking at on this article on Eurogamer, it looks kind of super artsy. I thought this game was more realistic. Is it not?
I thought it was. No, I think it is. They showed a trailer actually just a few days ago.
I'm watching the trailer.
It's all CGI and stuff.
Is this game supposed to be?
It follows you play as Gollum, the main character, and it kind of follows the events between the Fellowship of the Ring, or leading up to the Fellowship of the Ring, and maybe then
Between the
interspersed
Hobbit and the
throughout.
Fellowship.
Yeah.
But the ring's
And then
gone because Bilbo's got it.
right, so you don't have the ring as Gollum. So it's like all
So
you know,
what is
like
he
remember.
doing? He's just stuck in a cave and pissed off.
Well, no, he was going around looking for the ring and stuff, and then like they capture him and torture him. Remember, because that's how they find out where the ring is,
Oh
because he's like
yeah.
Shire Baggins. So he's doing stuff, and so they're sort of filling in the, you know, the narrative meat, I guess, on those thin Gollum
Are they trying to
bones.
present him as like an anti-hero?
Kind of a sympathetic
or,
character? Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Maybe it's
No, I
just
know.
like viewing some sort of other Lord of the Rings story, but from the eyes of this, dude that kind of lives in the shadows. You know what I mean? Like,
Kind of. I think so. I mean, it'll be something like that, but it'll be out, I think, in the next couple months.
I hope it's
think.
awesome.
I do too. Like, I never hope that a game is bad, but I just look at it and I'm like, I just don't know. I like Daedalic Entertainment. They've actually done quite a few
What
games.
have they done?
Well, the one that comes to mind immediately, they do a lot of adventure games. So they did one called The Whispered World that I really liked. They've done the Eye of Satanav, I think. They do.
How come I don't know any of these?
They're like European. They do. I don't know. They do
that
weird
must
adventure
be why.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys. Any of these games, none of them.
Well, guys, that is going to do it for our speed run. That is going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. I want to thank you very much for making it to the end with us. If you have any thoughts about the games that we've played, if you want to share with us the games that you've played, come find us. The best place to find us is on our Discord server. You can find a link to that over at GameBytesShow.com, where you'll find also the Podbean-based syndication of our podcast, and all kinds of cool links are found there. Of course, you can follow us also at youtube.com/GameBytesShow, where you can see this thing done live as it happens. Add some items in the chat, talk to us live as we do this, if you like. If not, that's fine. We're around. Generally, we'll be back at this time to do many more game impressions, video game news, speedrun, and of course, those new leaked Destiny guns, which we swear in the face of Bungie, we will continue. You cannot silence the leaked new Destiny2guns.com.
Nope. It's not going to happen.
All of that. We are firm on this. You can't silence an idea.
We're not afraid. Our lawyers are ready.
That's right. That's right. Come at us. That is going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Oh, man, I'm fighting a sneeze. Great. But I'm going to be a professional. I'm just going to talk about it.
Stop.
I also have stopped.
Export.
Let's see.
Beep, beep, beep.
Bam.
Save. I'm going to upload this right now.
Nice. I'm going to publish the
show.
Yeah, I got to work on that. I try to get the thing syndicated out before the next show, but not this week. Me too.
It's time.
Probably going to have to drink some water and pee all night.
It is time. Exporting. Done.
Nice.
I made a big old 3D print and I'm going to mess with it.
Hey, for real though, you should see if you can find the BattleTech miniature models based on the new games.
Where would they be?
Then, I don't know. The dark web somewhere. It's been a while since I've heard about them, but they redesigned a bunch of those mechs for MechWarrior Online and MechWarrior 5.
BattleTech. What are they called?
Battle mechs.
I mean, what is the version called?
Probably the Piranha and Piranha Games, the PIRHANA games models, something like that.
BattleTech Piranha. Why, you want me to print you one?
Print me all of them, yeah.
Piranha.
I'll buy the material.
3D printable Piranha 1 for BattleTech. This came out in November 2019, this model.
That's oh well, Piranha is also the name of a battle mech. So they have names like Lex, like
What
sorry,
is the
what are
name of
car
one of
names?
them?
Um Bushwhacker,
Bushwhacker.
Atlas, Warhammer.
Mm.
Don't do Warhammer, that'll find everything else.
BattleTech.
Marauder. Marauder would be a good one because they totally redesigned that
Collection
one.
of 14 models. Oh, the new ones, you mean?
Yeah. So what they did was, because that series has gone on for so many years that just different designers made stuff, and there wasn't necessarily like a cohesive look to all of them. But then when Piranha Games started working on MechWarrior Online, they redesigned a bunch of them and tried to kind of bring them together to more of a unified look. And
When
and
they're called Piranha?
no, well, Piranha Games is the,
Oh,
and they also use them in um, BattleTech the game. Um,
I don't know what I would. What would I search for when I'm looking for a model?
where do you look for? Here's what I'll do. Let me see if I can find them.
There's a place called Printables. There's a website called Thingiverse.
I bet Jared could find them for me.
I think I tried to print a BattleTech something once. I mean, here's a MechWarrior Online style Cougar BattleTech.
Yeah,
This is
it's the
from
MechWarrior Online.
2016, though.
Here's a website.
I thought I
called
printed one of
Yegi.
these. I tried. That's kind of cool. The thing is, you can like also scale them up and make them all big.
Yeah.
With the slicer and print them.
Oh, 404. So I found a website that has some, but apparently when you click on the actual links for them.
Summoner Thor, MechWarrior, Mech Robot, Battle Damaged, BattleTech. BattleTech storage.
MWO MechWarrior Online. That's a good tag. Huh.
MechWarrior. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff here. MechWarrior Centurion, Daishi, Boom Jaeger, Mauler, Griffin, MechTech.
It looks like a lot of people are tagging these MechWarrior Online.
Heavy Construction Walker. MechWarrior 2009 Trailer Jenner.
Yeah, Jenner is one.
Hunchback, Heavy Loader. Okay, let me go back to Printles. I like this website better. MechWarrior. Marauder. Locust. Warhawk.
Hellbringer. Hell yeah.
My dude.
MyMiniFactory.com. Is that a website?
Dude, that sounds pretty cool. Oh yeah, My Mini Factory. Discover STL files. Oh shit, this is it. This is the spot, man. MechWarrior. Mech style robot. Oh, they're selling the 3D models, it looks like.
Oh. That's dumb because they're just taking them from someone else.
Add files to cart, $2.30 for a Usus combat robot. Battletech, MechWarrior, sci-fi, science fiction, Warhorse, Grimdark, Confrontation, Necromunda.
Well, here's one.
There's got to be free ones though, right?
Here's the thing. They are literally, let's be honest. They are taking the work of other designers and reverse engineering the 3D models for the games and then making them into printable things.
Right.
So, maybe there's some work involved, but
Free objects. I'm gonna run this filter. Oh, MechWarrior Online, Hellbringer, Timberwolf, Huntsman, Atlas. Oh, the Atlas is the cool one.
Yeah, the Atlas is sort of the poster boy.
All right, I'm gonna print this tonight and I'll let you know. Oh, download only. All right, let's see what we got here.
But I feel like this is the kind of thing that someone on some like Reddit somewhere, some subreddit, is like, here's a file for all of them.
Oh shit, there is everything here. There's like 30 files in here. Atlas, repaired Atlas. You can like mix and match the different components.
Huh.
Wow. Okay, this is kind of cool. So how do I which one do I print? I want to know which pieces I want to print to make it look awesome. Comments.
Is it like some of them are damaged components? And some
Yeah,
of them are...
exactly. We got damaged, lower arm repaired, lower
That
leg
Marauder's
repaired.
cool. That Battle Master. So there are some, particularly there are some battle mechs that were lawsuit
Repaired.
battle mechs because the company that that owned the rights somehow the rights did not carry over. So for a while there were some mechs that were sort of like canceled from the universe, but then they redesigned them and
shoulder,
brought them
toe,
back.
torso, upper arm.
So the
upper leg.
Marauder is one of those. The Battle Master. The Battle Master used to be like years and years ago. That was the Atlas of its day. Like that was the one that was the cool one.
Oh, what does this file do?
Do they charge for all of these? That's dumb. Oh no, some of them don't.
Oh, this is a zip. I need to unzip these.
Is this? Can you find them by the
I don't know.
person who posts them? Oh yeah, look at these. Oh, why do they $27?
Yeah. The thing is like people will buy these and then they'll print them and sell them on Etsy and shit. Like that's.
Oh, so these are to buy the. Okay, I thought it was paying for the file.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so here's like the torso. Oh, so you get the torso, and then I need like an arm.
Really? Do you have to put them together?
Oh yeah, dude. This is like all the pieces.
Is that good or bad? That seems like it would be a.
Well, you could like mix and match and like it's the same as like Warhammer
Well,
where you.
I mean, I like that, but it's like if you have to build them from scratch, like if they should do.
They
it where it's
probably
like,
print a lot nicer because they don't need supports because then you just take the pieces and
and attach them, glue them together. Or
so
whatever.
let me put shit. Let me just like grab. So I grab like the biggest file. Torso upper leg repaired. Why are these? Where are these dumping in? Object list. Oh, are they underneath this guy? Oh shit! I made him huge. Oh, that's.
Are you already looking at the? Are you already looking at the model file?
Yeah, here, I'll stream this.
That's cool that it's that. Yeah, I want to see it.
Share. Okay, so this is the slicer. Like this is a piece. This is like this is the upper leg. Anyway,
so do you have to like copy that and double it if you want?
Or so you have so there's like let me just move this over. So like here's the lower arm, right? I don't know what that is, but
I don't know either.
But you can take these and say, I just want this guy to be huge. You can just go.
Oh man!
You just make them all big and awesome. But I wonder if there's some that are. I bet there's some that are just like this is confusing. It's like if you want all the little pieces and you want to do.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See what I'm interested in is like a game board legal size, miniatures, like to actually take them and play the game. So nothing big and like it should
Nova
just be one.
Cat, Mad Cat, Catapult.
Catapult's a good one.
Atlas supported. So this one's got like all the support. You'd have to like clip off. Pretty supported for all your resin printing needs. What kind of file is this? Oh, not a file I can use. That's not the one. Let's see. Ball joint Mad Cat mech.
Ball joint probably means it's articulated, like you can move it.
How many files are in this dumb thing? Download.
Listen to this. PlayStation 5 leads the market with a 369% year-on-year sales rise, followed by the Switch, which is down 18%, and then the Xbox Series S and X, which are down 10%.
What was that?
Percentages. So the PS5 leads the market with a 369% year-on-year sales rise.
Whoa.
Followed by the Switch, which is down 18%. And then the Xbox Series S and X, which are down 10%.
Goo. Delete. All right, so here's some files. Let me see what these turn out to be. Cockpit and rear. Go. Why are they not loading? Gun. There's the gun. Cockpit. Why is the cockpit?
Is that scalable, like real size, your printing area? Like, can you
Yeah,
fill
this
that and
is
print it?
yeah. So this is my printer right here. So it puts this. So I could do. I can move these around. You can actually click and just change the percentage. So this is the cockpit and rear of whatever this model was. This is
Catapult?
the ball joint
Mad
Mad Cat mech.
Mad Cat.
Then I could get the
Oh, because look, you can see the little joint in there. That's cool.
yeah
Like
shoulder
if you,
rocket empty, shoulder
huh,
rocket full. The thing is, this will like automatically like lay these out. So if I like just put everything in here, arm,
it would just, yeah.
I probably need 2 arms. I need 2 hips.
And there's the little ball that goes in the joint.
Yeah, this would print really weird though. It would need like weird supports. This would be hard to like clean up. Mech exploded.
Yeah.
What does that do?
That's why I know some
Oh.
people are probably, oh, that's all the parts. Just
Okay, so that's all you would need. The arm, gun, the 2 shoulder things, this, and then the leg stuff. Anyway.
yeah. See, a lot of people I think like to build like, oh, here's like a big model I'm going to put on my shelf, and I'm just like, I just want the little ones that I can move around on a map.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hmm.
It's kind of it's kind of a fun little hobby, I guess.
Yeah. I actually for years and years always wanted to get into that, and I just never really did.
Yeah, I was looking at this printer for a while, and then it was on like lightning deal on Amazon, and I had some extra cash. I was gonna buy a Steam Deck, or I had some money I wanted to. I've been working on a side project, and I wanted to treat myself to all this extra work I was doing, and so Steam Deck was on my list, like OLED switch for some dumb reason, like 3D printer, drum set, which I also got, like. Anyway,
Nice.
So I ended up getting another 3D printer, and it's been fun.
Cool.
Been printing things for the daughter. My daughter's been painting these little 3D printed frogs that I've been printing for her and stuff. And
really
takes them up and gets some acrylic paints and paints them up. And
yeah, cool. Well, at some point, maybe I'll buy some material and have you print. I mean, I don't know. You know, honestly, like I don't have time right now for BattleTech anyway. But that's something
I don't know how good these would look anyway. I mean, I could if you find a model you want me to try to print, I can print it for you. But something like that I had up on that thing would probably take.
Yeah, that's 8
hours
more.
To print. 12
that's
hours,
way
14 hours to print that.
That's way more than
that thing's huge though. I mean, this thing's
literally just like a 25 millimeter scale kind of thing. Is I'll see what I can find.
I wonder. I wish there was just like a little unit that was free, like just like a standalone unit that even had like I wouldn't even care if it had supports as long as I could.
130 millimeters tall. Yeah,
a lot of these are Nova Cat. Is that something?
Yeah, that's a clan mech.
Let me see what this file has in it. Oh, it is just one file. I'll try to print it for you tonight. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right, cool.
So let me delete all these, or let me. I'll share my screen again. Share.
Yeah, a lot of these are gigantic. I don't know who wants all these gigantic.
Yeah, these are big. So this file I just pulled down is this.
Yeah, that's kind of more like what I'm looking for.
It's gonna have like supports and weird stuff. I'm gonna have to do a brim. Oh, my 3D printer's already on. Yeah, 1 hour 13 minutes. That's not too bad. We'll just call this mech. This is the Nova Cat.
That's the one.
Okay, I'm gonna print it and see what happens.
Nice.
I'm still streaming, by the way.
Oh,
Everyone's getting bonus